From the very beginning, Laura Ingraham has been worried about misinformation being spread about the coronavirus. And up till today, last night, she had this section. We're not gonna show you the video, by the way, I wouldn't do that to you, but here's a screenshot from her show with the lower third. COVID 1 year later, what the experts got wrong. Time to retire the control freaks. She has been so focused on misinformation that she has decided to spread a bunch of it. She was like the original hydroxychloroquine person, by the way. She apparently took a trip to the White House. She was the person that got Trump obsessed with it. She later tweeted that it had a Lazarus-like effect on one person who was severe. How did that work out? We all going down to CVS to get shots of hydroxychloroquine, Laura Ingraham? No, but anyway, she's super worried about the misinformation. So to that end, we're gonna spread a little bit of the new information about what the CDC says fully vaccinated people can do. Before we get into the specifics though, Quay, I've been fascinated to try to figure out when people think they're gonna get vaccinated, when things will be back to normal. What are your thoughts about that? How excited are you? When do you think it's likely to happen?
Oh man, living the dream, I guess, but I feel like it's the type of thing that's right now become so baked in, it's become normal now. Thinking about a year ago, wearing masks 6 feet apart, can't go out. I think, folks were freaking out and, making big changes in their life. I feel like anymore, it's been a year, it really only takes, 2-3 months to make a habit. So it's been a whole year. I feel like people have gotten used to it. And so, I mean, those folks were, adhering from the start, or at least somewhere soon thereafter. So I feel like, when this happens, it's not gonna be this immediate, like everybody goes back to normal. I think some people are gonna be really eager to kind of go back to normal, stop wearing masks, go out, visit folks. I think other folks will come on a little bit later, or maybe take some half steps. I'll wear a mask here, but not there. And I imagine some folks are, really going to be scared to go out and are probably going to keep wearing masks for quite a long time, just in public. I think it is probably that thing, at least, is going to be the type of thing that we're going to see probably for the future.
Yeah, I expect it. I wonder when seeing unmasked people in tight TV scenes will feel normal again. That still weirds me out. But yeah, and so look, I get it. And I think one of the things that makes people nervous is not knowing for sure what's okay or not. So we want to make sure that people have the most updated information about what the CDC recommends, not because the CDC is God himself and knows for sure, but they actually seem to care about knowing it, unlike people like Laura Ingraham. So as of right now, as more and more people, something like 2.2 million vaccine doses in the US are being administered every day, what effect will that have on your life? So according to the CDC, their new guidance, fully vaccinated people can visit other vaccinated people indoors without masks or physical distancing, so that's good. They can visit indoors with unvaccinated people from a single household without masks or physical distancing if the unvaccinated people are at low risk for severe disease. They can skip quarantine and testing if exposed to someone who has COVID-19 but are asymptomatic, but should monitor for symptoms for 14 days. So basically, once everyone has it, you're pretty good, at least for small groups, and you're less likely to spread it, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to watch for symptoms. People who are vaccinated can still get it, even if generally, even once they get it, it's going to be a far less severe case. So bear that in mind. They also say that fully vaccinated people must wear a mask and keep good physical distance around the unvaccinated who are at increased risk for severe COVID-19, or if the unvaccinated person has a household member who is at higher risk, they must wear masks and physically distance when visiting unvaccinated people who are from multiple households. So this is gonna blow people's minds. If you're around a person who's likely to die if they get COVID, don't possibly give them COVID. That is still gonna be the advice. And if you're gathering in a big group, it's still a pandemic. You're still gonna have to wear a mask. You're still gonna have to social distance. And I would add, whether that's necessary medically, and it appears that it is, like if I go somewhere with a lot of people, Quay, I may know that I have the vaccine, but they don't know that. And the thing is, like, I could tell people that I have it, but we have people that are arguing with servers at Panera about their supposed medical reasons they can't wear a mask. Are you really gonna trust people who just blurt out, "Oh, don't worry, I have the vaccine"? Like, for the purposes of not freaking people out, as well as possibly not still giving them COVID, we're probably gonna have to wear masks in public, at least for a good while.
Yeah, I think so, and I think in line with that, what's also possibly going on in terms of those guidelines is the continued normalcy of wearing a mask for folks who can't get vaccinated yet or just won't get vaccinated. That here's the thing, that we're still doing this, right? And that it's still normal to do this. And even if you're vaccinated, that doesn't mean stop, obviously, for contagion reasons. But I also think there's kind of this mass psychological thing going on if you think about how long it sort of took to onboard everybody, and still not everybody in the country, to kind of adhere to these guidelines. I think they're being careful not to take too many steps forward and throw everything out the window. So that other people see that we're still doing this, but also, of course, to be careful. Things can still be transmissible, and we gotta be safe.
Yeah, and they specifically point out that some places, like social activities, like going to the gym or the restaurant, you do have a lower risk of infection, but you should still take precautions. Again, medical precautions, and also just sort of social, like just to reassure people, if nothing else. One thing that they did say that I think might surprise people is their new recommendations have not changed for travel. The CDC says people should delay travel and stay home, which I'm sure for some people who live far away from their family possibly, or are just really into travel or have business needs to travel, that is gonna be disappointing. I will say that back in the before times, Quay and I often used to meet up. That hasn't happened in a long time. It looks like we might have to wait a little bit longer, buddy.
So sad. We can't do our Valheim LARPing like we planned. Go chop trees.
That's not true. It does sound fun though. Actually, we're gonna have someone attempting to chop down a tree a little bit later on in the show, albeit slowly. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.